From the brain that brought you the Big Ben caper.
I shall reign triumphant.
Buenos dias, children.
Son. Yeah, you're all gonna be doing that.
Welcome back to Rat Review, and today we are going to be looking at Professor Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective to find out just how good of a villain he is. Is he trash? Is he the best rat villain of all time? We're going to find out. Real quick, shout out to Dream Guardian and Disney Infinity Toy Box for suggesting Ratigan, and of course everyone who voted for him on the poll. Cool, let's get into it.
Quite an ingenious scheme, eh, Flabbersham?
For those who don't know, The Great Mouse Detective is like this furry mouse version of Sherlock Holmes. That being said, Ratigan is sort of the Moriarty figure of the universe, so a lot of what we see here is what we see in every version of Moriarty. So what's this rat's deal? Does he do crime? Oh, you want to know? Well, too bad. I'm not going to be some crazy dude who demands motivation from a character like this, especially in a kid's film, but I am going to be a crazy guy who says it would have been nice to see. While he doesn't get an origin or a motive or anything like that, I do appreciate the fact that we do get a little pieces of background to him and Basil's relationship. It's a classic Sherlock Holmes-Moriarty relationship where they're both just geniuses trying to stop the other, and it's a classic formula that works really well, even in the rat-mouse form. Really, that's all we get as far as motivation and origin go. I don't really think it's a big issue for the character. It's not going to hurt him because it's such a classic, type of character who we all know, but it's also easy to see that this is just a normal criminal detective relationship. The movie never tries to get us to understand Ratigan, and that's fine because the movie's only 70 minutes. If it were a full 2-hour film, then yes, give me something more. It's Moriarty and it's classic, but maybe my favorite version of the character in the show Sherlock, he at least got a little more developed past just genius criminal.
A heavy tax should be levied against all parasites and spongers.
He might not have an expansive origin and motive, but what's this guy's personality like? To answer that question, I'll say the good kind. Ratigan actually has a fair amount of depth, and while it's never backed up by an origin, his personality does make him a lot richer as a character. First off, I want to mention his whole identity disorder of being a rat and convincing himself he's a mouse. I guess that there's this rat racist stereotype in the MCU, the mouse cinematic universe, of course. But it seems like there's sort of this thing where mice are more dignified and proper than the bubonic plague rats, and Ratigan does not want to be associated with the rats, at all. He literally forces everyone to call him a mouse, even though he's not. It's a small little character tick, but it makes him a lot more interesting, and it kind of shows why he's so elegant and royal, because he's trying to convince everyone of something he's not. With that in mind, it's cool to see him grow and change throughout the movie, as we see him at his most elegant, and we also see him at his most savage, his true form. Besides that though, he's a really smart character, and I actually believe that he's smart. For Moriarty-esque characters and just smart characters in general, it's important to sell us on their smarts, and I'm completely sold on Ratigan. I'll get into it more later, but I like how Ratigan gets some wins in the film, and it's not just him losing and failing to Basil the whole time. He's also really entertaining, and I think a lot of that is due to Vincent Price, who plays Ratigan. Price does such a good job of being elegant, yet also crazy, and he just enjoys every second of this performance. You can tell he's having a blast because Ratigan has so much energy. I really do feel like he's an underrated villain in the realm of Disney, and overall I enjoy him.
Even grimmer plot has been simmering in my great criminal brain.
He's got the personality, sure, but does he have some good scenes? Actually, yes. Yes, he does. Starting off with his introduction, I think it's cool Ratigan gets a song. The movie isn't really a musical, as there's only this song and that one song that's incredibly uncomfortable, but I'm happy Ratigan gets his villain song. If you've seen a lot of my past villain reviews, you'll know that I'm a sucker for a good villain song, and this one's solid. It's not a top-tier villain song, it's no Other Friends, shout out to Spinell, but it's enjoyable, and it does a great job of setting up who he is as a character. I also really like the scene where he tricks Basil, because it shows that he really is a smart character, and I love that he gets this win over Basil. It's a great scene to make the audience feel bad for Basil. As the movie enters into this third act, we have that big, all hope is lost moment. Also, that last fight with Basil in the clock tower, it's also really cool, and it's brutal. The kind Olivia Rodrigo was talking about. The punches and slashes pack a punch, and I love seeing Ratigan default to his true form. He's a rat, he's ruthless, and no matter how hard he tries to convince everyone that he's not that side, he can't hide who he is. So yeah, he's got some good scenes. I enjoy his personality so much that seeing him interact with all these other characters is just really cool. Whether it's Basil or Fidget, I'm down for anything because those scenes are always really good. Granted, the Moriarty character is so strong, it would have been easy to make like all these scenes good, but that doesn't make them any less enjoyable.
Piece of craftsmanship. See what you can do with the proper motivation?
Don't be fooled by the elegant and sometimes like charming and suave persona of Ratigan, because the dude is evil as heck. First off, the dude murders. Pretty evil, I know, but he does it a lot. There's this one scene where this one dude calls Ratigan a rat and he feeds him to his pet cat because he doesn't like that. Like, straight up, the dude is eaten alive in front of all of his friends. And yeah, it's something. The dude's main goal is to take over the mouse world by replacing the mouse queen with the mouse robot. Yeah, sure. It's an evil idea to take over the power like that, but again, it just feels like kind of a basic power motive, and it does nothing for me, if I'm being honest. Power motives are so hard to get right, and when there's no origin to explain them, it's hard to find his scheme engaging. Instead, it sort of feels like a basic evil plan because he's the evil character, he's the bad guy. Again, I don't want to compare, but the other versions of Moriarty have at least had better reasons for him to pull off these schemes instead of just doing them just for the sake of doing them. Like I said, what he wants to do with the power is indeed evil, but it's not that engaging. So basically what I'm saying is that what Ratigan does is evil, but I wish there was more reason behind it.
Thank you.
Okay, this one's tough, guys. There's not really an origin or motive for Ratigan, and I wish there was. It doesn't hurt the character, but a lot of the things that he does would be a lot more interesting if he had more reason and method to his madness. Luckily, his personality is amazing, and there's so much to enjoy here, mainly that great performance from Vincent Price. He's also got some great scenes that show how smart and ruthless he is, and while he is indeed evil, I'm not really down for the whole power motive. He's Moriarty, but he's a rat. He's slightly different. I don't feel like I could give him a really strong score because of that, because he's just Moriarty, but there's still stuff to enjoy. I'm going to give Ratigan a 7.5.
How sweet. Oh, I just love tearful reunions.
Thank you so much for watching today's villain review, and make sure you let me know who I should review next, and go vote on the poll as well for next week's villain. If you enjoyed this video, maybe, guys, just maybe consider subscribing, please. I'm getting really desperate. I make a new villain review every single Monday, so there's that. If you don't want to miss them, maybe subscribe, please. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. I might cry, though. Yeah, I'm sad. No, I'm not. Okay, bye.